पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं वादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वंदे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। Open your book. Now we start. The question is, Tattva Vivekah Kaha? Tattva Viveka Kaha. What is a real knowledge? Tattva Viveka Kaha. Then Atma Satyah Tad Anyat Sarvam Mithya Iti. Means Atma alone is real. All things other than are unreal. This firm conviction is called Tattva Viveka. So last session we discussed that Shankaracharya wrote, now I am going to explain modification of the discrimination. So he promised. According to that, he wrote a question, what is real knowledge? What is real knowledge? Every day we get informations from the objects. So what does mean by real knowledge? What is reality in knowledge? So understand this topic, we have to think another way, because knowledge is objective, not subjective. So topic is so serious. I repeat again, knowledge is objective, not subjective. What does mean by it? I explain. According to Vedanta, we categorize the truth in 3 levels. So please, as I told you before, note down. There are 3 types of truths. To understand the reality of the knowledge, we have to understand all levels, all standpoints of reality. First reality we call pratibhasik. Another is vyavaharik. Then comes paramarthik. I repeat again, please note down. Pratibhasik, vyavaharik, and Paramarthik. We have to understand three levels. First is Pratibhasik. Pratibhasik means what? Pratibhasik means it appears, but it does not exist. And its duration time is very short. It appears, but it does not exist. Like your dream. Dream appears, but objects of the dream does not exist anywhere. And silver in the mother of the pearl, and very famous example in Vedanta. You would listen so many times. Snake and rope. Snake and rope. When we go somewhere, the light was not proper, and darkness is also not there. So we see a rope. Because of our fear, we imagine there a snake. That snake, which does not exist, becomes cause of your heartbeat, becomes cause of your fear. You may get hurt. Which snake does not exist? Just your imagination. Because that snake, you get hurt. Your heartbeat. Sometimes you may get heart attack also. So this type knowledge, this type object is pratibhasik. Pratibhasik. It appears, does not exist. These objects are created by only mind. Pratibhasik, like dream objects, from where they comes? They comes from your mind. These objects are created by only mind. So this is the pratibhasik state, pratibhasik object. Then comes vyavharik. Vyavharik means what? Vyavharik, transactionable. When we use our outer sense organs and mind, which knowledge we get? This is a vyavharik dealing. I can say that this is a waking state. In waking state, we use our mind plus our sense organs. And its durability is more than pratibhasik. And we can transfer objects, we can transmission objects, as father can give his property to his son. He can make a will. And father's property goes to son. Same. You go to supermarket, you buy something and you give money. So in these words, objects are vyavaharik. These are the vyavaharik. We can deal, we can transmission. But in dream, you cannot transmission. You cannot transit. You cannot transfer. So dreams state objects are pratibhasik. Waking states objects are vyavaharik. Their durability is more. Another one is paramarthik. Paramarthik. Paramarthik means what? Param arth. Param means absolute. Arth means object. Absolute object. It is which. It is beyond of time, beyond of space. It is always. So paramarthik means always, beyond time, beyond space, beyond our sense organs and our mind. So I repeat again the things. Your pratibhasik objects are depend on your mind. Our vyavaharik objects are depends on our sense organs plus mind. And paramarthik is beyond our sense organs and mind. This is absolute. So paramarthik, absolute. Now I simplify. Take one example. As I told you, snake in rope. The snake in the rope, there is a snake. Snake is pratibhasik. It appears, but it does not exist. And rope is vyavaharik. Rope is vyavaharik, more durable than snake. And after realization, you can understand this is not so this is not snake, this is not rope, this is a Brahman. Everything is a Brahman, then this rope also is a Brahman. This rope is also Brahman. It's absolute. Now your question is, what is real knowledge? As I told you, knowledge is objective, not subjective. It always depends on object. If object is pratibhasik and pratibhasik objects knowledge also is not real knowledge, because objects are not real. Then comes vyavaharik. Vyavaharik objects are also not real. It appears for a long time. So objects of vyavaharik is real. Their knowledge also real, but not absolute. Becomes now third stage, paramarthik. Paramarthik means absolute. When your object is absolute, I use word object because there is no other way. I say subject, but I am using word object. So object, when your subject become object, it is Paramarthik. So here in Tattvabodha, ask Tattvabodha kaha? What is Tattvabodha? Then he reply, the real knowledge is Tattvabodha. In this textbook, very small textbook, very basic textbook, Tattvabodha, we start the searching of truth. Now, another question was Tattva Viveka kaha? What is real knowledge? The reply is Atma Satyaha. Please follow the book. Atma Satyaha Anyat Sarvam Mithya. Atma Satyaha Anyat Sarvam Mithya. This is the real knowledge. Atma Satyaha Anyat Sarvam Mithya. The meaning is Atman alone is real. All things other than are mithya. This firm conviction called Tattva Viveka. I repeat again the meaning. Atma Satya Anyat Sarvam Mithya means Atman alone is real. All other things then are mithya. This firm conviction called Tattva Viveka. The text name is Tattvabodha. So this is the principle. Atma Satyaha Anyat Sarvam Mithya. Now we think Atma Satya. Satya means, as I told, absolute, Paramarthik. Atma Satya. We see dreams every night. Everyone see dreams. So many things, millions of millions people, objects, we experience. We enjoy, we get pain, misery. And these objects are so strong. That time, you are afraid. But when we think, is there something except you? In dream, there are so many objects you are watching. But you think, is there anything except you? You are the truth. And all things are false. So, Atma is Satyaha. Atma is alone real. All things are unreal. Now, very important question. Very, very important question. Atma kaha. Now we proceeding ahead. Atma kaha. We can say, what is Atman? Yeah. Who is Atman? What is Atma? Atma kaha? This question, what is Atman? The very important question. I think this is the first and the last question of spirituality. This is the should be first question, and it should be last question, Atma Kaha. Shankaracharya arrives the question, Atma Kaha, what is the Atma? Because spirituality related to spirit. What Atman is. There are so many philosophy all over the world. When human beings started thinking about the world, simultaneously he started thinking about God. Simultaneously, same time, he started thinking about God. What is God? What is Atma? What is Brahman? Name may be differ because of language, but the meaning the same. Human beings started thinking about consciousness, about Brahman. Then so many theories came and gone. So many. There are some theories based on human beings' intellect. We cannot fully believe that their theory may be right or not, because human mind's intellect has limitations. So according to their condition, according to their limitations, they can explain about God. Some says there are God in heaven. Some says there are God in heart. Some says there are God is minute. Some says God is vyapak, everywhere. Some says God has so many qualities. So first we understand, we can say that the God is in three levels. Nirguna Nirakar, without form, without attribute. I repeat, the first state is without form, without attribute, Nirgun Nirakar. Then with attribute, without form, Sagun Nirakar. Then third, with attribute, with form. Nirguna Nirakar, without form, without attribute, without qualities. Then comes with attribute, formless. Then with attributes, with forms. Nirguna Nirakar, Sagun Nirakar, and Sagun Sakar. These are God's state, absolute. The first thing is Nirguna Nirakar, without form, without attribute. This is the pure consciousness, without no form, no attribute, just consciousness, just consciousness. Then comes second level. Some theory says God has so many qualities. He is kindness. He is like a judge. He is a father. He can give you reward and he can punish you. He can punish you. So some theory says God has, but still he does not have any shape, formless. So there are so many religions like Christianity, Mohammedan. They don't believe form, but they believe the God has qualities: compassionate, kindness, and sometimes he may behave like a judge. He may punish you. And third is Sagun Sakar, with form, with qualities. We say that avatar, Lord Shiva, Vishnu, Ganesha, other deities. So these three labels we can imagine of the God. But absolute truth is God is pure. I give you a small example. When you buy milk, in India, we buy milk from a milkman. We say him, give me pure milk. He says, okay, I'll give you pure milk. He gives sometimes, but then someday he mixed water. You say, it is a mixed, it is not pure milk. It is a with water. I told you, give me pure milk. And he says, you told me, give pure water, pure milk. I gave you milk with butter, but butter is also pure. Distillery water, even more than pure, your milk, Gangajal, Ganges water. So I mixed Ganges water. It is better than your milk. We say no. In milk, whatever you mix, the purity of the milk will go. Purity of the milk will go. Because in milk, whatever you mix, it may be distillery water, it may be Gangajal, whatever. The purity of the milk will go. Even not only purity of the milk will go, even water also not pure. So purity means only that. Only that. So God, in first state, no form, no quality. Then he accepts, by his Maya, he accepts some qualities, kindness, compassionate, and judging everything because of his Maya. And in third level, he accepts more quality and form also, Saguna Sakar. These three labels in the is working in name of the spirituality. Some say the God is Saguna Sakar, some say Nirgun Nirakar. Without form, without attribute, with attribute, no form, with attribute, with form. So these three qualities, three levels of the spirituality, the spirit, we accept all over the world. Atma Kaha. There are so many philosophies. In this Tattva Bodha, as I told you before, we don't believe any human being's intellect. We believe our scriptures, Vedas, and self-realized persons. Guru Vedanta Vakeshu Shraddha, the last session you have heard. Guru Vedanta Vakeshu Shraddha. So we believe in Vedas, Upanishads, and self-realized persons like Shankaracharya. So there are so many theories, but this small text, Tattva Bodh, very basic text in Vedanta, this starts its journey very beautifully. This enters into truth very beautifully. So next mantra, Atma Kaha. This is the question. Now answer is Sthula Sukshma Karana Sarirat Vyatiriktaha Panchakoshatita San Avastha Traya Sakshi Shakshidananda Sarupasan Ya Tishtati Sa Atma. I repeat, you can repeat with me. Sthula Sukshma Karana Sarirat Vyatiriktaha Panchakoshatitaha San Avastha Traya Sakshi Satchidananda Sarupa San Ya Tishtati Sa Atma. This is the definition of the Atman. This is the definition of the Brahman. This is the definition of yourself. Now meaning. What Atma is? Shankaracharya says, Sthula Sukshma Karana Sarirat Vyatiriktaha, that which is other than the gross, subtle, and causal bodies. I repeat, that which is other than Sthula, Sukshma, and Karana Sarira. That which is other than Sthula, Sukshma, and Karan, gross, subtle, and causal bodies. Sthula, Sukshma, Karana Sarira, Vyatiriktaha. Vyatirikta means other than. Now, Panchakoshatitaha, which is beyond the five seats. Panchakoshatita. Avasthatra Sakshi, which is witness of the three states of awareness. And Satchidananda Swarupa San, which is the nature of Sat Chit Anand, existence, knowledge, and bliss, is Atma. This is the meaning. स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः. What Atma is? This is the best definition. Now, how to approach to Atman? In Vedanta, there are two ways. One is positive and another is negative. How to enter in this realm of spirituality? So Vedanta scriptures take two ways, positive and negative. Here in this definition, first here is negative. What Atma not, and what Atma is. In Vedas, there is neti, neti. This is not, this is not. So what Atma is? The definition is स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीरात् व्यतिरिक्तः. स्थूल sharir. Whatever experience we have about consciousness through our body, whatever experience about consciousness from where? Through the body. My body, your body, trees, animals. But body required. We cannot experience consciousness in stones. A common man can experience the consciousness in body, human body, animals, birds, trees. So body is the first point where you can experience the consciousness. Like, here is the light, electricity. Electricity express yourself through the bulb. And bulb give light to us because of electricity. So both are needed. Electricity should be there and instrument device should be there. The body is our body like a device to express consciousness. First body now is sthula body. Sthula body. Sthula means gross body. And subtle body. Then comes causal body. In Vedanta, there are so many technical words. Technical word. We have to understand very clearly because they comes in further, then you should be prepared. These three bodies in Vedanta are also technical word. And so I go through how to understand the body. This is the gross body. Gross body means what? And why? Why we do have body? What the purpose? I will explain. So first, we should try to understand about gross body. What is the material for gross body? First thing is, what is the material of the gross body? Gross means stool. Everyone can see. Object. So, what is the material of stool, gross body? Gross body is made up of gross matter in form of gross 5 elements. Five elements. We can say Sthula Bhuta, Pancha Mahabhuta, 5 elements. And we can easily experience them in our body. Any body's body, there are 5 elements. In our body, there is earth, there is water, there is air, fire, and space. So the gross body is made by 5 elements. I repeat the 5 elements again. You can note down. First is space, Akasha. Vayu, air. Agni, fire. Jal, water. And Prithvi, earth. These 5 basic elements, 5 Mahabhuta, they are the material cause for the body. And component in this body, central body, Shira, head, hands, and legs. Then comes function. What is the function? What is the purpose? As a child insists to his father, I want chocolate, I want this, I want that. And father gives. The same way, the Jeev, individual soul, demand to the God, I want to become like this. God has 8.4 million bodies. 8.4. So when we decide, I want to be angry, God says, oh, yes, okay. I give you a body who is fit for anger. You be a snake. We desire, I want to eat meat. God says, okay. Human body is not fit for meat. I give you another body, you become animals, lions, meat eaters. Yet Whatever you want, whatever we want, God can give. For what? Fulfill your desires. According to your karma, according to your action, whatever we want, God says yes. Whatever you want, I give you. And God gives. So purpose of the body is, after this body, bhogayatanam. Bhogayatanam. The body is the medium for experience, pain and pleasure. Bhogayatanam. Only this gross body through in this world we can experience pain, suffering, pleasure, happiness, bliss, everything. For these bhogas, these experiences, we require the body. So God gives. And one point, nature of the body. What the nature? It has 6 vikara. Sthula, Sukshma, Karan. We are now thinking about Sthula Sarya. What is the nature of this body? So nature is, here are 6 conditions. 6 conditions. 6 stages. Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Nashyati. I'm going slowly. You can write, and I repeat. Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, and Nashyati. These 6 are modification in this body. These 6 conditions are related to this body. First is Asti. Asti means existence, itness, Asti. In the first condition is potential existence in the womb of the mother. When this body comes in the mother's womb, this is Asti. There is a child. There is a child in mother's womb. Asti, there is a body. But we does not celebrate birthday. Body is there. But we does not celebrate birthday. Happy birthday. Body is there. It we call Asti. Then second, Jayate. Jayate means birth. After some time, he takes birth. The first state was Asti, then comes Jayate. This day is birthday. Asti Jayate. Second, then comes Vardhate. Vardhate. So once the body is born, it starts growing. Every day, growing. Vardhate. Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, growing. Then viparinamate. Viparinamate. Viparinamate means what? So after some time, growth has stopped. After some years, growth has stopped. But modifications or changes continue there. Growth has stopped, but modifications, changes in our body continuously going on. Body become adult and remain adult. So many conditions comes, our body goes through these conditions. And after, fifth is apakshiyate. Apakshiyate means decay, growing to old. So when life starts, our body gets energy. It grows. When life going to an end, the body slowly lose his strength. Old. But we don't accept our this age. So we try to hide our this age. So we start saying that now I become a mature. I am 85 mature. But the reality is 85 old. Apakshiyati. And then nashyati. Then comes nashyati. Nashyati means death. Death of the body after certain period, after certain time, we cannot protect our bodies. It has to die. Die. These six are vikara. In everybody's with body, there are six vikara. I repeat again: asti, jayate, vardate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, nashyati. This is the nature of the body. This is the reality of our gross body. And gross body is visible for everyone. Gross body is visible for everyone. I can see my body, you also can see. So gross body is like object, anyone can see. Now, the time period of the body. It may be 100 years, it may be 50 years, but we cannot extend for always. This is its nature. So, this is the body, gross body. Here we Atma, what is Atma? Sthula Sukshma Karana Sarirat Vyatiriktah Panchakoshatitah San Avastha Traya Sakshi Satchidananda Sarupasan Ya Tishtati Sa Atma. Sthula Sarira. So our gross body, where we experience a consciousness, Tattvabodh says, is not Atman. Is not Atman. Shankaracharya says, we can experience the consciousness through our body. This is good. But gross body is not consciousness, not Atman. It comes and goes. So today we think sthula sharira, gross body is not Atman, Now then comes Sukshma and Karana Sharira Vitarikta Atma. Shankaracharya will explain. So enough for today. Next class I will take the other part of the mantra. So now we start Shanti part. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Vadarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.